What you're looking at behind me now, it's what's left of a home here in Early County, as that tornado just ripped through and completely destroyed it. This home has been ruled a total loss. Now, it was here on this campus 8 years ago that the body of 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found. And it couldn't come at a better time, as they're starting to see people trespassing onto the properties. Now, the last time that I was here at this with the commissioner, the door was not open. One of the other guidelines that nightclubs will have to adhere to is only serving drinks to patrons while they are seating at the bar. The Albany Police Department has now involved another law enforcement agency in the search for Tristan Brown. They were out in the Palmyra Road area yesterday, and I've been told that that search has now expanded. As you just said, that positive case did come out of Alice Coachman Elementary School, and it was a teacher that tested positive. Now, when I spoke with the superintendent earlier today, he explained several new things they are doing to not only protect the students, but the staff as well. Here in Irwin County, it has been a busy day all day. The election officials have been working tirelessly since this morning to make sure that all of those votes were counted accurately. Yes, there are still a lot of people out here at the fairgrounds. They just closed down just a couple of minutes ago. After being confirmed as our first African-American Secretary of Defense, General Lloyd Austin is already breaking barriers and making history. But he's not the first person in his family to do so. Well, Victoria, we've been provided very limited details at this time regarding these three shootings, but what I can tell you is that Albany Police Department is currently investigating all three. Unfortunately, a suspect has not been named at this time.
Here we go. Look at my sister. Sister, say hey to the universe, to the nation.
That was both Captain Andrea Hall and her sister Whitney making their way down to the Capitol. But participating in the inauguration yesterday was not the only first that Captain Hall experienced.
Well, I was extremely excited. And for the first time, I was nervous. I mean, I was unexpectedly nervous. And I was like, Lord, please do not let me forget my lines.
But Captain Hall not only recited the Pledge of Allegiance, but she also did it using sign language, something she has known almost all of her life.
Well, I am what they call a coder. I have a parent who was deaf, and that's how I learned sign language. I thought it was important because that is a second language for me, and a lot of my friends and family speak that language because this was a very special moment for us. And so that was my way of demonstrating my love and commitment to them.
During those moments of excitement and being on stage with so many other notable speakers, Captain Hall says afterwards was when it truly sunk in for her.
Shortly after the ceremony was over, I just had a really emotional moment. It was like an emotional release of sorts. And I've had that periodically since, because there was such a great outpouring of support and love that I could never have anticipated.
If there were just a few words she could use to describe it all, this is what she had to say.
Once in a lifetime, beautiful, historical.
Good evening, Victoria. Voting rights activist Stacey Abrams says she came to Dougherty County today for a reason, that the people in this community were a part of the historic outcome that helped turn Georgia blue. And if they can come out in record numbers again, we can make that happen in this runoff election. Stacey Abrams was joined by State Senator Freddie Powell Sims and Chair of the Dougherty County Democrats James Williams to get across one message and one message only, that people need to get out and vote.
We have to have your voice. We know this is going to be a close race, and so every vote counts. And if you don't believe me, just remember it took 4 days to get Georgia blue back in November. We need to get it done faster, and we need Dougherty County to make it so.
Just this week, the Dougherty County Board of Elections was faced with a potential lawsuit regarding the eligibility of over 3,000 voters. Abrams says several attempts across the state have been made in relation to voter fraud, but none of them have been proven true.
Voter fraud is not only a lie, it's a proven lie. And out of 15,000 investigations, they found one flaw, and it was a wife who's trying to help her husband. And so we know that that's not real, but what we do know is real is voter suppression.
And to keep voters from giving in to voter suppression, that's why they want the public to know this race is about much more than Georgia.
This race is very critical. Who we vote now will determine our children, our education, our economy. It will determine how we live in this United States.
With Albany once being a hotspot for the pandemic, political leaders say there's a reason why so much attention is on South Georgia right now.
The last chance we have in America, in this country, to bring civility and to bring hope to those of us that need it the most.
Stacey Abrams did launch her run for governor right here in Albany just 3 years ago, and she says she does plan to return again in the future to keep fighting for change not only in this city, but for the entire state. In Albany, I'm Ariel Mallory. Several homes in the Adel community suffered greatly in yesterday's storms, and now the recovery process is beginning. Governor Brian Kemp did come out and assess this area earlier today, and he says that help is on the way.
It don't look half as bad as it did. It was horrible.
Power crews were out working to restore power to the city after being hit with severe storms. Cook County EMA director says thankfully no fatalities were reported.
We've got no fatalities. We've had a couple of people injured. They've been taken care of. The main thing now is just a lot of power lines and tree lines and trees and stuff down.
People in the community described the scary moments up until the storm hit when everything went black.
I was looking out the window, and about that time I saw trash cans and chairs flying down the road. And I was hollered at the girls, told them, "All right, girls, get in the shelter now."
One homeowner was left with trees falling all throughout her yard, but happy that the things she lost can be replaced.
We're just thankful that we're fine. This doesn't even matter. We'll get it taken care of, get it cleaned up.
Officials don't have a count on how many homes were damaged as of now, but that a few are completely destroyed.
There's still a lot of damage. There's a lot of debris down. We're just asking everybody to stay home, stay out of the way.
Now crews are still out working hard to try to get the city back together as much as possible. Reporting in Adel, I'm Ariel Mallory.